back to my channel. Today I will be doing my June wrap up, which is crazy. I can't believe, I feel like June went by really fast, and it shows with my reading count because I only read 4 books last month, which I feel like maybe I don't even read that many books every month to begin with. So as I said, I only have 4 books to talk about today. I'm hoping that maybe July will be better, although I feel like it probably won't because July is going to be a busy month at work. So yeah, I don't know if that's going to happen for me, but it's okay. We can try. Anyway, I am just going to get right into it with the first book that I read in the month of June, which was Queen of Shadows by Sarah J. Maas, and what can I say? 5 out of 5 stars. My cat is approaching. Hold on. He's very curious. What's up? I don't think you've ever made an appearance. Do you want to say hi? Yeah? Come here. Ooh. This is Sylvester. Oh, he's very cross-eyed. Yeah? Rough day? Yeah, I know. It'll be okay, I promise. Anyway, okay. You can hang out, you can do whatever you want. What do you want to do? Want to hang? Okay. Anyway, Queen of Shadows by Sarah J. Maas was just amazing. Pristine, 5 out of 5 stars. I could not get over how much I enjoyed this book, how much I am just in love with the characters. I forgot so much that happened. Minor events that happened in this, I just was astounded by, and astounded at the fact that I could even forget that those things happened. The second time reading this, I felt like I liked a lot of the characters a lot more, and I appreciated them a lot more, I think because I obviously knew them, and I feel like with Sarah J. Maas, it's very easy to get kind of overwhelmed by how many characters there are, how huge the worlds are, that I can see that the first time reading a Sarah J. Maas book would be like you wouldn't have enough time to appreciate the characters or like everything about the world. So I feel like the second time reading this has been like we're soaking it all in, you know? Alright. The second book that I read was for Pride Month, and it was Tan France's memoir called Naturally Tan. This was a really fun read. It's very short, so it was super quick. Of all the, Fab Five members, Tan is definitely the most closed off. He's the most mysterious, I feel, and he's also one of my favorites, and I mean, they're all really my favorites, but I've always been like really drawn to Tan, and I wonder if it's because he is kind of mysterious and there's kind of this like enigmatic aura about him. I don't know, but that being said, I feel like reading from his perspective and reading about where he came from and his story, and just more about him and learning more about where how he got to where he is was really fun, and it just makes me love Tan even more. It's very candid and funny, and I don't know, if you are a fan of Queer Eye, I would totally recommend reading this. If you like celebrity memoirs, I don't know, give it a try. I liked it. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I'm heavily biased because I love Tan, and I also don't read memoirs very much, so I don't know. I don't feel like I'm like the greatest judge, but enjoyment-wise, loved it. Also, side note, his husband did, hold on, let me find an example, the illustrations in this book. So each chapter has an illustration to go with the title of the chapter. Like this one is titled Slippers, and if you look closely, there are slippers, and so every single illustration in this book is done by his husband, which I think is just cute, so love it. And then I picked up, finally, I finished Americana by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. This has been 2 years in the making. I started this in 2018, and I finally finished it in 2020. I don't know what happened the first time around because it really was not, you know, a painful read or anything. I just must have gotten a reading slump. I don't know. So I didn't reread the first chunk that I had started in 2018. So in 2018 I had read about 250-ish pages, and I just picked up pretty much where I left off. And I had remembered pretty much what I had read, and whatever I didn't remember, I kind of got the gist as I was reading. But I feel like I enjoyed the first section a lot more than I did the last section. So I feel like I don't know what happened, but the writing kind of just got a little didactic for me. So if you don't know what Americana is about, it's how the synopsis is pitched is that it's this young couple that gets separated because Ifemelu, the young woman, gets a scholarship to go study in the US. And so she ends up moving to the US, and Obinze, her boyfriend at the time, is forced to stay in Nigeria. And then as he's trying to kind of make his way to her, he ends up in Britain, and it just very much centered around immigration and immigration to the West primarily. But I don't know, from that synopsis, I get like, this is gonna be a romantic, it's gonna be very much like literary, but with romance in there, you know? Like, you think that Ifemelu and Obinze are like the main focus, and like, it didn't go that route. Of the portion that I read this year, Obinze was like not very present, and it was just kind of shocking and not what I was expecting. Not to say that this book wasn't very well written and very, you know, poignant and had very meaningful messages to say. I think at some points throughout the story it seemed a little too over the head, like it wasn't as nuanced as I would have liked to see it kind of executed, as far as the messages went, as far as like race and immigration and stuff like that. But overall I gave this, I think, 3 out of 5 stars. I will say that Adichie is really well written, and I can see why this is a very kind of renowned piece. I just didn't enjoy it as much as I wanted to, unfortunately. Anyway, so the last book that I read in the month of June was a surprise pick. I was not expecting to read this at all. I went to Target, as one does, and I ended up in the book section, as one does, and I ended up going home with 2 books, and one of them was The Girl He Used to Know, and this is by Tracy Garvis Graves. This book was so much fun to read. It was just a joy. It was exactly what I needed, because I had just come off of reading Americana, and I feel like, I DNF'd a book before this. I didn't DNF it. I saved it for later. I started The Underground Railroad by Colson Whitehead, and I just wasn't connecting, and my brain wasn't connecting. So when I went to Target, Target has like a lot of the like book club pick type books, and I really wanted something that was kind of lighter, maybe something cute. Very much was looking for something cute, so I ended up with this one, and it was just what I needed at the time. This book is about a girl named Annika Rose, who is an English major at university in Illinois, and she is kind of strange, and she is very shy, gets very socially anxious, especially in crowds, doesn't really like to meet new people, and really her main interests are reading, being surrounded by books when she's at the library, and playing chess with chess club at the university. And it is at chess club that she meets Jonathan, and they end up falling in love with each other, and it is just so cute. Oh my gosh, I loved Annika and Jonathan's romance, and what makes this book extra, you know, special is that it actually takes place in 2 different timelines in both perspectives. So we have the original timeline, which is in 1991 when they first meet in university, and then we see them 10 years later in 2001 when they meet again after 10 years of not seeing each other. And oh, I just loved it. And it's in like reconnecting and like figuring out what happened, and I just loved it. I saw mixed reviews on Goodreads, but you know what? I gave it 4 out of 5 stars and I do not regret a thing. That wraps up my wrap up. I only read 4 books that month, and we're hoping for a better, outcome for July. We'll see. I'm already pretty much a week into July and I've read no books because I DNF'd my first book of July. Oh, this is going great. Anyway, let me know if you read anything super exciting, if you want to find me anywhere else on the internet. I always have those linked down below, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.